Alright folks, we got our John Deere tractor here. The belt keeps coming off. I just put on a new belt. It lasts for a couple days and it's coming off. And so I'm going to have to try to figure out why the belt keeps coming off. Alright, so one of the things I've noticed is this tensioner right here is slanted. And I saw that and I was like, well, I don't know, maybe it's supposed to be like that. I have come to the conclusion that I think that's my problem. I'm going to try to take that off, see if I can't bend that straight, and see if that stops my belt from coming off. I'm guessing it will. Alright, so first thing I'm going to need to do is, there's a spring on here. I might go around the other side, take that off. Take that spring off. Now I don't need to take this off, or at least I don't think I do yet. Maybe I will, to pound out this thing. I'm guessing this bar right here is bent. So I'll probably have to take that off, but to get this off, I'm going to have to take this nut right here out. So we're going to pop that spring, take the nut out, see if we can't get a hammer or something, hammer this thing straight, or figure out where it's bent at, and then put it back on. Alright, so I'm come over here to the other side, and the spring's pretty easy to get at. As a matter of fact, but it does not want to fit up through that slot. Kind of a pain. At any rate, it disconnects from the other end pretty easily, and we'll just lay that off to the side. So now need to get this bolt off right here. Alright, so on this S240, this looks to be a 10mm bolt. Alright, there's a washer there. I want to make sure I don't lose, because it's got it's not just a washer, it's also centers that bar in there, so it acts kind of as a bearing. Take our arm off and we'll go take a look at it. Alright, so we got this out. It looks like there's a little bit of bend there. Maybe we got a stick or something caught up in there and it tried to feed it through and bent the thing. So I'm going to take that pulley off and see if I can't straighten out that bolt, or use that bolt as a lever point and try to get rid of the bend that's in this, and I think that should straighten out that pulley. You can see how much it's cocked right there. Get it right and straight again. Alright, so this is a 9/16 socket. I tried a 14. They're about the right size, but they're not deep enough to go over the bolt. So I'm going to have to go to the toolbox and get me a deep socket to fit on that. Alright, so we got a 15mm deep well socket, and I'm not sure how hard this is on there, so I just went ahead and got me a big wrench to start off with, and I'm going to see if we can take this off. Alright, since my direction of travel for nuts this way, I'm going to put my lever down facing towards me, so that way I've got the lever holding it. If I can keep this straight, there we go, got it loose. If they had a vise, that'd probably be the better way to go, but I'm trying not to spend too much time setting this thing up. Just like get it off, get it unbent, get it put back on. Alright, so there's my wrench. There's my pulley with the bearing in it. And now to see if we can get this unbent. Alright, I have gathered me some implements of destruction, including a hammer. And I think the first thing I'm going to try to do is bend this back in shape by hitting it with the hammer. And but I'm not going to be able to do that on the concrete very well, because there's not a lot of bend there. You can see if I put this up there, it's got a little bit of bend, but not going to be able to hammer on it really very well. So I got this old Allen wrench here. I'm going to set this up here on top with the corner on that, so I can whack this plate good with the hammer. See if we can't get it bent back a little bit. Yeah, see, not sure that's working too good. So plan B is I went and got a bigger socket that fits down over the whole post. My 15 millimeter didn't clear this stuff here, so I got me a bigger socket that fits down over that. I'm going to try to stand on this, and then I got me a big wrench that will fit in there and see if I can bend it that way. And the problem I've got is I can't bend this down far enough it hits the concrete over here. So if I flip it around that way, now to straighten it I got to lift up on it, and I got plenty of room to lift up, so we'll try it that way. Well, I'm certainly bending it, not in the right spot though, but that may or may not be a problem. But now I've overbent it, so I'm going to hammer on it, take some of that bend out. Or try it that way. Alright, so now the question is, what's the pulley look like when it's on there? Did I got too much bend or not enough bend? I don't know. Well, it's not exactly level. I actually need some more bend taken in it. I want this to be level with this, and it's not. You can see it slopes in on this end. Alright, I like the way that looks. It's pretty even. This is line of travel. We're just going to try it, see if this will fix it or not. Probably the preferred method would be buy one of these brand new that's not bent, but I don't want to do that. And you may not want to either. So if this works, maybe a solution for you. Alright, this seems pretty tight. Alright, time to put this back on there. Alright, so it's starting to get tight. It's not in the right spot, because I can see that center part is supposed to line up my bracket with my hole. It's caught. So I need to move that around. There it goes. Where it starts. Goes through my hole in my plate. There, that's much better. So theoretically the spacing of that bolt will keep this to where I can tighten that bolt down tight and this still swivels, which indeed it does. So alright, so that's good and tight, as the Germans would say. And now I can attach my spring back on here to this hole. Alright, now I just got to reroute the belt. So I'm going to start rerouting my belt with this thing. I don't know if I can get it on there without taking the cover off. Normally I can't. So I'll probably have to take this one screw out. It's got 2 screws on it, but if I take this one here out, it's enough to be able to lift this up and get the belt on and then put it back in. Alright, so this is also a 10 millimeter bolt. And I'll spare you me from doing all this. Alright, so we got that bolt loose. And now I can lift this up, get it out of the way, and make sure my belt's on there. So I'm going to put the camera down. We're not going to film that because I can't do both these. Can't hold the camera and film at the same time. Got the belt coming around that front pulley over here. Comes around this pulley, goes around this one here, and I'm going to leave this loose just for the moment, just in case this pops off. And then I've got to go put it around that other pulley, and then when I got that done, we'll wrap around this tensioner here, because that's where all my slack's going to be. Alright, so we got the belt wrapped around all the pulleys. Goes from this pulley right here straight across to the other pulley. I had to let go of it. And then it's going to come back in and go around this tensioner. I'm going to push this tensioner in and then wrap the pulley around, but I got to get my belt back on that big pulley over there. So let's see if we can do this and capture some of it on video. Alright, so we got that. We got a hold of the belt here, and I'm going to push this tensioner in. I could have left the spring off, I guess. It'd been the smart thing to do, but maybe not. Probably hard to get the spring back on there with all the tension on it. But at any rate, going to push that tensioner in. I don't know if I can do this with one hand, but we'll try. Not that I guess you can see very much, but at any rate, you get the idea. I'm going to pull the belt out, push the tensioner in, push it on here, and then we'll give it a try. Alright, so we got the tensioner, or the belt around that tensioner, and I just have to put this screw here back in, and we'll start it up and see if the belt stays on. Alright, time to see if it works. Alright, so I guess only time will tell how long this is going to last. But I sure like the level of that idler arm now than the way it was before. So hopefully that'll do the trick. Feel free to ask me follow-up questions. Ask me how long it lasted before I hit a stick and bent it again.